Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about issue number 8 of The Phoenix from the Ashes, written by Stephanie Phillips and art by Marco Renna. But before we dive into the story, I want to ask you a favor. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a comment to help the channel grow. So with that said, issue number 8 opens with Jean Grey remembering the last time she was behind the controls of a space shuttle, because during that event she thought it was the end, and yet her only thoughts were on the ship's cargo, the people she loved sitting in the back of the shuttle, with only her as a barrier between them and lethal waves of radiation. But this time she knew better. This time wasn't the end, for it was only the beginning. For this time it was indeed a beginning, but not for Jean. Like how the old saying goes, in the beginning, there was nothing. Before the cosmos took form, we were a flicker in the darkness, a manifestation of the universe's hearing for life. From the first thought that echoed through the emptiness, we were there. A guardian of creation, a catalyst for evolution. All emerges from our flames, and so too shall all life return to them. For we, the Phoenix, are the cycle of life itself, the promise that from every ending comes a new beginning. Now on a side note, I love the way the Phoenix is depicted in this image. The use of flames and line art is amazing, but anyway, the narration continues to say that the Phoenix was facing THANOS, and the powers of the Warlock's Eye clashed with her own, and created a void that threatened to erase the universe. Until Jean released the powers of the Phoenix to another, a child named ADANI, in order to break the hold of the Warlock's Eye, and now, because of that, she is fractured. Now her mind is recovering at a place that she recognizes from the Avengers files. It was a place called the Blue Area of the Moon. And as she sat there, she started to have a conversation with a mental manifestation of Beast. And that Beast went on to tell her that these ruins reach deep beneath the lunar surface, and somehow, there's an Earth-normal environment extending all through them. And just as he said that, Scott's voice called out saying, "On your toes, people, I've briefed you on the threat, but now we have to be ready for anything." And see, Cyclops wasn't alone, for he had all the old team with him. He led Beast, Storm, Angel, Colossus, Nightcrawler, and Wolverine. And like always, they didn't have to be here, but they chose to be there anyway for her. Because no matter what, the X-Men always stood by Jean's side and trialed by combat against everyone, including the Shi'ar Imperial Guard. But this time something was very different, for the X-Men weren't here to fight the Imperial Guard, but instead, they were here to fight the Dark Phoenix. So as Death herself emerged in all her fiery glory. So as everyone stood in shock, Jean immediately noticed that the Phoenix had altered that memory because it wanted to remind Jean that all power comes with a cost. And on the next page, we see the forces of the Brood being cut down by ADANI, one of the current hosts of the Phoenix Force. So as she slashes and hacks away, PERRIKUS stated that ADANI was actually the one who created these Brood using her newfound power, so he reasoned that she should also be able to destroy them. But due to her inexperience, she had no idea how to do it. In fact, she stated that there were too many of them. Now as the fight continued, ADANI narrated that PERRIKUS told her that true power isn't something you believe in, but something one wields. And the Phoenix showed her that limitless power can come with immeasurable pain. But for ADANI, when she felt the powers of the Phoenix anchor themselves within her, latching on to the very depths of her soul, she felt freedom. And in an outburst of energy, she completely eradicated all the Brood she created. So with that battle over, ADANI stood alone in the center of the mayhem as PERRIKUS walked up behind her and said, "The Brood appeared because she didn't listen to him." If the Phoenix memories now exist as echoes inside of her, then ADANI now has the potential to create something far worse than the Brood if she becomes distracted. Following that, ADANI stated that she did exactly what he told her to do, but still it wasn't working. To which PERRIKUS protested and said she shouldn't have let the Phoenix take back any of her powers. For she had it all, and now, whatever's left is but a fraction. Now this pissed ADANI off, because she didn't let the Phoenix do anything. She tried to hold on and keep the power to herself. And in a fit of rage, ADANI blasted PERRIKUS several feet back onto his ass. Now quickly she apologized, to which PERRIKUS recognized it was her emotions that were lashing out. For he has been telling her to focus on the wrong thing, because ADANI needs to focus on her emotions and how she is feeling. Because only then that would help her bring back her home. So as ADANI focuses her anger, we then transition over to Jean's team firing away at the Phoenix's egg. Now Rocket has been shooting his heavy weapons for several straight hours to no success. So of course Nova had to step in and tell him to chill out, because even if Rocket managed to indeed break through, what would happen if Jean was potentially hit by one? Now that was when Rocket shot back and said that the thing out there wasn't Jean, but instead a ball of fire, energy, and psychic stuff. So with the two men at a standstill, Rocket mentions that maybe he should have gone with Captain Marvel to free the Galactic Council after Thanos' attack. Or maybe with Sif, because she could have used a buddy to guard the Bifrost. Following that, Nova started to put two and two together and stated if Jean is indeed in a psychic cocoon, then like a caterpillar she is trying to protect herself while she is undergoing a transformation into a butterfly into something new. Which means when the time is right, she will emerge when she is ready. But see, the only question left to ask is what is she transforming into? And just like that, we transition to inside of the cocoon as the X-Men rushed head first into battle. And during this fight, Scott points out that she is too powerful even for all of them together. So as the Dark Phoenix continued to put in work, the team sat in fear, and as the boulder was launched their way, just before it made an impact, it exploded. Now when a being of great will and power calls out to the cosmos, the Dark Phoenix answers their cries not as a savior, but as a mirror to their true potential. For the Dark Phoenix offers them her flames, her power, so they might rise beyond what they were. Now to that, Jean went on to say not all can handle the flames. And if anyone should know, then it would be her. And then Jean went on to say, she opposed her own nature and allowed the worst parts of her to become consumed by fire. But then they learned the truth that they are one. And they are everything, for she sacrificed herself because she thought it was the only option to control the power of the Phoenix. Because when she became the Dark Phoenix, she didn't understand the power that was inside her, so she feared it. And that fear created the Dark Phoenix, but now she has found balance with this power. So with that said, the Dark Phoenix then challenged her and asked if she had found peace. Now to that, Jean replied with, how can I find peace with the things you've done, the things we have done? This caused the Dark Phoenix to state, you want so badly to redeem yourself, but you believe redemption doesn't exist. And at that point, Jean lashed out and said, no, I don't, not for us, not for what we have done. For Jean believes she doesn't deserve peace and redemption. Now with that said, a voice then states, then how can you be a hero, for you can't help others until you help yourself? So as her team approached her, Jean continued to say, I tried so hard to be more than my past, to do enough good to balance out what he did. But it will always follow me, even to the deepest reaches of space. I hear the voices of all those who died every single time I close my eyes. Now to that, Storm stated that she will never be able to outrun or outfight her past, for they all have hurricanes in their souls, but that power can be harnessed. So this prompted Jean to state that maybe it's not about easing the darkness, but using it instead, for that could be the true power of the Phoenix. For that is the power to transform not the world, but oneself. So as Jean starts to come to terms with her past, we then transition over to PERRIKUS pushing ADANI's training to the limits, forcing her to go beyond what she felt like she could handle. And in Black World Wind, on the next page, emerged PERRIKUS' old team stating, for we are home now, and we are together where the Dark Gods belong. So as the Dark Gods stood in their newfound bodies, we then transitioned over to the last page as the cocoon opened and Jean narrated, I am the Phoenix, and I am eternal. From the ashes of every world I touch, new life will always rise. For I am the guardian of the cosmic balance, the keeper of the flame that ensures the universe remains ever in motion, ever alive, and she will extinguish any threat that dares to challenge the sanctity of existence. And with that said, this issue of the Phoenix comes to an end. But anyway, down in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts about this issue and what predictions you could have moving forward. So with that established, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to leave a like and a comment if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.